What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly, man. We got the jazzy tunes in the back because I'm kind of mellow. You know, I like to have the music representing my current energy, and I feel like that sets the mood pretty, accurately. Anyways, the revenue charts have been released for the month of April for Gacha games. As usual, this is something I love doing. Every single month we try to cover it, unless I feel like there's really not much to talk about. But in this case, this is quite interesting. I would like to say I love the fact that they're now like splitting up global and China exclusive sales, because that gives quite a bit of insight with regards to the demographic interests and how certain people are enjoying the game. Because, like, you know, numbers do reflect to a degree how people are enjoying a certain game or not, you know, or whether that patch or update was actually a banger or not, or to the community at least. You know, objectively speaking, I would argue that every Genshin Impact patch is quite literally the same. There's almost no QOL. There's no in-game updates. It's all just story and characters, which again, it looks like it's fine based off of these numbers, which I want to get into some of that stuff as well. Genshin Impact in China doubled in sales. Now, if you double in sales from 2 million, then that means you made 2.5 million, right? Good money. But if you double in sales at 44 million, bro, that is insanity. Now, I looked up what was going on in the month of April, because from what I heard, the update in April was apparently nothing apart from what I just mentioned, story and characters. I was like, okay, well, what characters were like being released in April? Because this was just ridiculous to me. The performance there. We had, I think, Nerviletti is his name. I don't know how to pronounce this shit because I ain't never played that update, but I think it's Nervilet, which, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't keep up with Genshin like this, but HSR and Genshin Impact, the communities are pretty much one and the same. You might not want to admit that, but I think they're pretty much one and the goddamn same. And I'm making that point because I'm trying to tell you that you just hear word of mouth from the HSR community what's going on in Genshin Impact, regardless of whether you're interested in it or not. So I hear these things kind of from like the outside of the window looking in type of ordeal. I hear Nervilet is like the new strongest Hydro DPS in the game, like better than Yelan and Xing Shui, I think. And if that's the case, he's also the judge. And didn't he make a child his son? He made child his actual child. So I know he's one of the popular characters. He was in April, I think, as a rerun, which is crazy. Kazuha, we already know. I think he's probably the most goated support in the entirety of the game, apart from the new Hydro Archon. Is it Archon? Damn, bro, I've been playing way too many games. I don't know if the terminology in there is Archon or if it's Emanator. I don't know, whatever. Regardless, Kazuha and Nerviletti in the month of April is actually insane. I can totally see these numbers, or these banners, doing some serious numbers. And then, of course, ARLECCHINO, probably one of the most highly anticipated Fatui Harbingers, and she's fine as hell. She has one of the coolest designs I've seen in the entirety of Genshin Impact. That design is banger. She has a fucking scythe. We knew it. I knew she was going to do numbers, but I didn't think, with all that, you know, being provided, I don't know who the hell this is, with all that being provided, I still did not expect Genshin Impact to do these kind of numbers. Like, what in the hell? Now, this was also quite revealing to me, because what I've come to know, which I've always known, but what it's made it even more explicit is like China carries hard, bro. Like, look, just look at this. 82 million from China alone, doubled in sales. When you look at global, it went up 1.5, literally 50% increase in sales. But China doubled, and not only did it doubled 44 million, bro. Like, that is insane. It almost did more than Honkai Star Rail global and in China. I mean, not almost, but you get what I mean. That's just ridiculous. The same thing here. Honkai Star Rail last month in China, 96 million, but global 48 million. Like, dude, China's got a real gacha gambling problem. This is what these numbers tell me. Like, this is not a compliment, guys. What the fuck? It's just China against the globe, bro. What the hell, man? It's speechless to me. And what it tells me is, like, if you're somebody who plays this game in China or global, regardless of your opinion, I feel this right here tells you no matter how dissatisfied you are as a global player, you're not going to change anything about Genshin Impact because of this right here. What this also tells me is that if in the next anniversary, god damn, that sun is bright, boy. What the hell? All right, we're going to go ahead and deal with it. If in the next anniversary, China complains about their anniversary rewards, instead of having their back, just laugh at them. That's what I would do. Just laugh at the Chinese gacha Genshin Impact specifically. I want to be specific here, not all of China. Genshin Impact China community, just laugh at them. Yeah, because this right here tells you that they have no problem with the current dynamic of Genshin Impact, which is insane to me. I'm probably going to get a lot of hostility for that, but you know what? They hate to hear the truth from the boy. They hate hearing it. Anyways, Honkai Star Rail in global pretty much remained the same in sales. 5 million when you're making that kind of volumes, pretty much, you know, plateau, same performance-ish. I will say, I was expecting Honkai Star Rail to do more, but I guess what this tells me is those first couple of days of a banner really do reflect how much money is being made, right? Acheron came out on March 27th, which those first couple of days are definitely the highest selling days of a character's banner. So I guess a lot of Acheron's money for her banner was in those first couple of days, and then it trickled on into the month of April. And then of course, Aventurine, I knew off rip. I try to tell people, like, nobody cares about a sustainer, especially if they're a male, right? It's just not as popular as the female characters in gacha games. That's just, the gacha game community is like more coomer than it is, you know, simping for males. Anyways, with that being said, the fact that they still hit over 100 million is wild, globally and China combined. And then when you take all of the HoYoverse games, you got 82 million plus 36 million. So now we're sitting there at like 230 million from HoYoverse alone. And the craziest thing about these numbers is that this is just apparently what they claim. This is just mobile revenue. And I genuinely feel like if you were to throw in PC revenue, I think HoYoverse at this point has got to be close to $500 million when they do this type of thing, including PC sales. Like, I don't know what PC sales would be, but over here, I feel like the global numbers would be much higher if they included PC sales, because I feel like PC over here versus the prominence of mobile gaming in China, you know, that's significant. I think it also makes sense while China has such a higher performance, because in China, a lot of people really do favor mobile gaming. Whereas over here in the West, or like, I don't know, maybe other places as well, we like gaming on the PC. So I think that also plays a significant role in these numbers. But at the end of the day, that's just my guess. With that being said, I look forward to seeing where Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero are going to end up. I think Wuthering Waves has a strong chance to look, I'll tell you right now, if AFK Journey, which blew me out of the water, bravo for AFK Journey. We'll get to that in a bit. ADHD's going all over the place. If AFK Journey made it in the top 10, which is fucking insane, I think Wuthering Waves has a strong chance, probably to even take number one for maybe 1 month. I do, because there's a lot of eyes on that game. There's a lot of expectations and anticipation on that game. And I think in the first month, bare minimum, with the power buff of the anchor characters, I think it'll pass up HoYoverse for at least for 1 month. And then Zenless Zone Zero, when it comes out, who knows? I'll be honest. I think Wuthering Waves has the torch right now. Zenless Zone Zero has got a little bit to prove. I know people said it improved in that latest beta, but from where I stand, I mean, it looks like the same game to me with some quality of life improvements and a little bit of a change up, but the mechanical intricacies and stuff still for the most part look the same. God damn, that light is bright. I'd be curious to see, but I'm going to call it right now. I think Zenless Zone Zero, I don't think it's going to perform the way these two games perform. I don't. I think Zenless Zone Zero is going to be more of a niche game. And maybe this is a hot take, but I feel like it's like, whereas Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact are always just shooting for the moon, I feel like it's going to be probably quite mid in terms of performance. I've said this before, but I feel like it's battling against its own predecessors while also battling against Wuthering Waves. Some competition is coming in quite steep. But I will say, with that said, You can see it taking some of these numbers away from both Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. If it does, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, I don't think HoYoverse is going to be able to continue to dominate with Zenless Zone Zero the way they're doing it with Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. But who knows? You know, at this point in time, all you can do is just speculate. Now, this, I'll be honest, this made me so happy because this development team has taken care of its content creators. They see the value in taking care of content creators. You guys, from the viewer standpoint, might be thinking, oh, they're just like, you know, shilling these fucking sponsorship ads for AFK Journey. Honestly, if you have a problem with that, go fuck yourself, because they're taking care of us, and this is how we should be getting taken care of for a lot of these games, because we carry hard as fuck in the marketing department. So when a developer comes along that understands the value of creators and actually incentivizes them to market their game, guess what? Your game will perform. Look at these numbers right here. You know why? They are sitting in the top fucking 10 on their first month. It's because they actually took care of their creators. But I will say, this makes me really freaking happy, guys. It does. Nikkei, a pretty consistent game up here in the top performance. It went up 4 million. That's pretty nice. I don't know what the hell Naruto Mobile is, but anytime I see any anime IP in the gacha genre, I immediately assume that the game is incredibly mid, but it's being carried by the fandom. Love and Deep Space. I don't know what this is, bro. This has got to be like, bro, I just see 3 Chads there. So maybe I'd be interested to see the percentage of male versus female players in a game like this. Puzzles and Dragons, don't know what that is. Fate Grand Order is always like kind of doing its thing, especially considering that people say it's the most OG like gacha game. Summoner's War, as I told y'all before, most based community of all time. This shit is an impenetrable wall. Got a Venturine and Japard shield combined for its community. This shit never moves. It's like it has to stay at the exact same money being brought in, or it goes up, which is wild. This pissed me off a lot. This pissed me off so bad. Like, Persona is just such a eminent title. It's so renowned and respected. This IP is like just so fucking favored. Not only over here in the West, but I feel like worldwide. And they dropped it only in China, and I think I saw it again somewhere else down here. Where else did I see this at? I think this is the Korean flag. So they dropped it in Korea and in China, but didn't release it globally. Like, bro, oh man. And like, the thing that trips me out about this is it's just like, I'm never gonna play that game now, because nobody wants to deal with, y'all know it, nobody wants to deal with these cringe ass communities that have gotten an edge on the game's release date before you have, and they're like, don't run this because we've already tested it, you're wrong and I'm right. I'm never gonna play the game now, right? And if they would have released this in global, god damn, bro, that son, holy, you guys are just gonna have to ignore me over here. Holy, I'm turning to Escanor over here. If they would have released the global, guys, if it did 11 million in China, I assure you it would have did 5-6 million global. I assure you would have did 5-6 million global. So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's something in terms of not being informed enough to know why it didn't release global. If you guys have insight, I'd like to know. But that's truly unfortunate that it just didn't even release global. I would have played the hell out of that game. Blue Archive, Arc Knights. God damn, Arcanines fell off a cliff, bro. Blue Archive went down 2 million. Reverse 1999 in China. This is one of those games that probably needs to stay in China. Not because I think Reverse 1999 is a bad game, but China is clearly carrying it. If we scroll all the way the hell down here somewhere, I think it's not even made in like $1 million. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Global, it's at $500,000, whereas in China, it's dude 10xing that. Yeah, over 10xing that. So I think it fell off a cliff global, but in China, it's performing spectacularly. There's a number of games where like they do really well in China, but global, they do shit. So, and again, I guess because a lot of them are much more mobile savvy than they are PC savvy, maybe that plays a significant role. Honkai Impact the Third's doing horrible globally. But I think it's also, yeah, it does. Honkai Impact in China is at 1.6 million. Again, performing much better in China. I will say that game has its moments where some updates come out though. But honestly, those are pretty much the only games that I'm pretty much interested in that I know of. I'm not a big gacha game person. I'm still relatively new to the space. Yeah, I don't really care about all this other stuff. I'm really happy about AFK Journey, but yeah, these sales were wild to me, man. I will say though, now they have, I think Clarend is coming out now for Genshin Impact. I wonder how those sales are going to perform. Like for Honkai Star Row, now we have Robin and Boot Hill coming up. I think these sales are going to probably go down some more because nobody's going to be able to like Acheron's shadow is just too large. I think that's the, like, you can't fill Acheron's shoes. So I think these sales will probably continue to go down from Robin and Boot Hill, although I'm stoked about Boot Hill. I think they'll continue to drop, and then, you know, maybe until the next really hyped character drops, it'll start performing again. But those are all my thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.